Well, good afternoon, everyone. Today is December 11th, and at this time, I'd like to open the public hearing. This public hearing is being held in person. My name is Carl Jackson. I'm the Principal Transit Planner for the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission, and I will be moderating this discussion. Before we begin, I just wanted to outline some basic guidelines to ensure that this hearing goes smoothly. If you wish to speak, if you could please fill out a speaker card and wait to be called upon. Since it's just a few of us here, if you could raise your hand and come up to the speaker. If you have any comments, and once called upon to the podium, please provide your full name and your city of residence before commenting. Each speaker will be allowed 3 minutes for initial comments, and I will inform you 30 seconds before your 3 minutes has expired. If time permits, participants will be allowed for additional time to comment. All individuals are welcome to provide further comments at any of our other public hearings or through some of the means that I will mention below. Please do not speak when others are speaking. Participants are urged to silence all phones and devices. As moderator, I reserve the right to dismiss participants who are disruptive or who are behaving in an inappropriate manner. Today's hearing is being held as directed by the Pioneer Valley Transit Authority Advisory Board. This is one of 7 meetings being held to discuss the route enhancements on routes P21E, G73E, and the Ware-Palmer shuttles. Your comments will be transcribed and provided to the PVTA Advisory Board. Your comments are essential to having a comprehensive understanding of the impacts that these changes would have on PVTA riders. We are here today to listen to your comments. There are also a number of other ways to provide your comments: via email, comments@pvta.com, via phone, 413-732-6248, extension 2237. You can leave a message for up to 3 minutes. You can visit pvta.com and complete a comment form. And I would now like to introduce Paul Burns-Johnson, Director of Transit Operations from PVTA, who is going to provide a brief presentation with highlights for the proposed changes to these routes. There are also additional staff from PVTA in attendance, should anyone have any questions. Please be advised that the purpose of this hearing is to solicit your input. Unless there are specific questions relating to these route enhancements, staff will simply be accepting your comments for review. So with that, I'll turn it over to you, Paul.
Thank you, Carl. So the background on these changes is PVTA, with increased funding in the state's budget, will begin to add service both in the short term and the long term. The agency is taking an incremental approach to adjusting service on system routes. Our ultimate goals are to expand weekend service throughout the region, restore service that was reduced due to staffing shortages, and increase frequency on all routes to 30 minutes or less across our system. The 3 primary routes that are the focus of this public hearing are the P21E, which serves Springfield and Holyoke via the I-391 Express. That change will become effective December 24th, and on that route we'll improve frequency from 60 minutes to 45 minutes Monday through Sunday. We'll also further improve frequency along this route to 30 minutes in the spring, assuming staffing allows. On the G73E, which is an express route also that serves Springfield to Northampton via Holyoke Mall, that change will also take effect December 24th. All trips after the service change will serve Northampton every 45 minutes, Monday through Saturday. We'll also be implementing new service on the G73E on Sundays, and we will further improve frequency on this route to 30 minutes in the spring, also assuming that staffing is in place. And finally, the third set of routes that are on this public hearing are the focus of this public hearing are the Ware-Palmer shuttle, which is a flex route that serves the Ware and Palmer area and connects those 2 towns to Springfield. That service change is effective December 18th. And as part of that service change, we'll reinstitute the Ware and Palmer circulators, which were in service prior to the 2018 service cuts. We'll be using 2 separate vehicles on those routes. The Wilbraham Big Y will see increased connections to Springfield, up from 2 a day to 6 a day. And then we're also planning weekend service improvements for the spring on those 2 routes. Additional service enhancements that are not the focus of the public hearing, but we will also be implementing on December 24th, are an expansion of service, a slight expansion of service in the B-17, which serves the Wilbraham Big Y via Worthington Street and Wilbraham Road. We'll close a service gap that right now is 90 minutes frequency, and we'll improve that to 45 minutes and ensure consistent frequency all day on Saturdays. The G1, which serves Chicopee and Sumner, Allen, and Cannon Circle, all trips will begin serving the Chicopee Big Y on December 24th. The R10, which serves Westfield and West Springfield via Route 20 from Union Station, will provide consistent 45-minute weekday frequency, which is a significant improvement over the current route. Will also serve, all trips will serve Walmart, and all trips except for the first early morning trip will serve Westfield State University, providing a direct connection from downtown to Westfield State. The R14, which serves Feeding Hills and the Agawam Industrial Park in Springfield, has some minor increases in efficiency and timing to increase efficiency and improve on-time performance on that route. Some of the challenges of the major changes for the P21E and the Springfield-Holyoke via I-391 Express, we expect no challenges on this. This is simply an improvement in frequency, so it'll increase the amount of service between Holyoke and Springfield on that route. The G73E serving Springfield Northampton via the Holyoke Mall. There will be a reduction of 4 fewer trips each day to serve the Holyoke Mall in the initial phase of the service change. However, once we implement the full service change in the spring, we will see increased service to both Springfield, Holyoke, and Northampton. So there'll be a little bit less service at the start of the changes, but it will improve significantly by March. And one of the benefits is that this will eliminate confusion among riders with not all trips going to Northampton. And the frequency change in December will result in significantly more service to Northampton as well. The Ware and Palmer shuttles, we expect no downsides. We'll be increasing service significantly in both communities with significant improvement in frequency in both Palmer and Ware and improved connections to both Springfield at Union Station and at the Wilbraham Big Y. And this slide just outlines the current P21E schedule, and we have copies available if you need those as well. This slide is the current P21E map, which will not change. It'll serve the same route along the same start and end points. And the improved schedule on the P21E, and again, we have copies of these schedules if you want to look at them in more detail on this side table. And if you have specific questions, we can go back to any particular slide and discuss that slide in more detail. This is the current G73E schedule and the current G73E route, which again will not be changing as part of this service change. And the proposed G73E schedule. The weekend change, the only change on weekdays and Saturdays is the increased frequency, but the Sunday schedule is an entirely new schedule with similar frequency, just a slightly shorter span of service on Sunday. And then this is the Palmer Ware current schedule. And the Ware Palmer current route map. The route map itself, the broad outlines of the map will not change significantly, but the way it's serviced will change with 2 separate vehicles. And this is the proposed Ware schedule, which will take effect next Monday. And the proposed Ware route map. A portion of the route map does extend into Springfield at Wilbraham Big Y, but is not shown on this map just for clarity purposes. And the core service area will be the town of Ware itself, with connections to Wilbraham Big Y. And this is the proposed Palmer schedule. And the Palmer route map. And again, we do not show the connection to Union Station on Springfield on this map, just for ease of clarity with the map itself. And that concludes the presentation. Any questions on the route changes?
Any questions or comments from the public? Oh, yes, please, come up. Thank you. Why don't you leave it on the table, or you can hand it to Sandra. She'll. And if you wouldn't mind coming up to the microphone and just stating your name and your city of residence.
All right, my name is David Borowski. I'm a resident both of Amherst at University of Massachusetts Amherst, as well as Wilbraham when university is not in session.
Thank you.
All right, do I just state my comments?
Yeah, yes.
All right. So overall, I'm very excited to see these frequency improvements for both the P21E and the G73E. And I'm especially appreciative of the PVTA's commitment to speed up journeys throughout the Pioneer Valley, especially to core components of the, core cities like Holyoke, Springfield, and Northampton. I do have some concerns, particularly with the G73E's 45-minute frequency. I utilize the B43 often as someone who lives in Amherst. And on Sundays, that route experiences a lot of crowding with the hourly frequency. It's besides the point, but oftentimes to take the B43 into Northampton and then taking the G73 to Springfield is quicker than to take the R29 directly. And my fear is that with 45-minute frequencies on the 73 and hourly frequencies on the 43, that leads to misconnections and long transfer times in order to get down to Springfield or the Holyoke Mall. I'm also, with regards to the Ware Palmer shuttle, I'm also greatly appreciative for the service improvements there, especially with the restoration of the separate shuttles, because the Ware shuttle, the current Ware Palmer shuttle is kind of hard to comprehend from a newcomer's perspective, I'll be honest. So to create those separate systems and additionally connect those areas to the rest of the Pioneer Valley more frequently is, in my opinion, a great thing, because with more frequent transit, I believe that more riders will utilize the system. Thank you.
Thank you. Just if I could respond briefly to your concern on the B43 connection. I think much of that will be alleviated in the spring with the 30-minute service.
Is there a plan to?
There is a plan to increase the frequency on the G73 to 30 minutes in the spring, starting in March. And I mean, we're ultimately looking at increasing frequency on all of the routes. And the B43 is a high priority once staffing's back in place to return that to its original frequency. But that does depend on staffing. We're hopeful for the spring, but no guarantees yet. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roski, for your comments. Appreciate that. Is there anyone else from the public who would like to speak or any questions? Well, if not, Paul, did you want to finish?
Yep. So this is the fifth of 7 public hearings. We will be meeting in person tomorrow at the Northampton City Council Chambers at 212 Main Street in Northampton at 3 p.m. We have an additional public hearing scheduled tonight at 6 p.m. It's a virtual public hearing. The Zoom meeting ID and passcode are on the screen, and they're also on our website for folks wishing to join. And then finally, there are additional ways to comment. You can send comments to PVTA at comments@pvta.com. You can phone your comments in at 413-732-6248, extension 2237. You can leave a comment at up to 3 minutes in length, or you can mail comments to me, Paul Burns Johnson, at PVTA, 2808 Main Street, Springfield, Massachusetts, 01107. And if anyone has additional comments or questions, we are here until 2 o'clock to take any questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that, Paul. PVTA would like to thank you for coming out today and attending this public hearing. Your comments are extremely a valuable part of this process. Again, all your comments will be provided to the PVTA Advisory Board and will be used in the decision-making process. Once again, we're here until 2. You don't have to be, but we're going to be on standby in case you have any other questions or if any other members of the public decide to show up. Thank you.